Right, welcome to another episode of Soundtrack of Our Lives. I'm here with Sammie from Soultriibe, who are a sort of nationwide community, I would call it, for spiritual and awakened people. I don't know if you want to elaborate a little bit about what it is you do and who's involved with it.
Okay, hello. Thank you for having me. So Soultriibe is for awakened people, both spiritually and awakened to the corruption that is in the world. And we created a group during lockdown on Facebook 2.5 years ago to connect people that would have been isolated because of their different views. So we've just brought people together for friendship and fun and dating, and we've got events, and we've had marriages and babies, and so we've got Soultriibe with 2 eyes in because both of our eyes are open.
That's right, you're sort of like the Cilla Black of the Facebook world now, because like you say, you've had some success, haven't you, with people getting together and forming partnerships and having babies and things. That was really quite cool. And the group itself, I'm a member of the group, and it's a fantastic group. Loads of interesting people in there. And then you've recently ventured onto your own platform, because obviously Facebook has got limitations, so you're now on its own platform where people can join the community, and they're not kind of censored, or their posts aren't hidden and the events aren't invisible to people. So all that information I'll pop in the comments, so people can sort of reach out. And I hate the word reach out. Why have I said that? I'm not the Four Tops. People can connect and find where you are and learn a bit more about you and sign up if they need to.
That'd be amazing. And I love being Cilla because I used to watch Blind Date all the time. That was
love Blind Date, yeah. Question, and same to question 3 or whatever it was, wasn't it?
What's your name?
Where are you from? Yeah.
I love that. So yeah, no, and we're on a new space, as you just said, because we were restricted, and so we want to grow over there, and we've got people all around the world in our group. So yeah, it's just been a really nice space to help people, and I've learnt a lot since running that group, and I've grown a lot since running that group.
Yeah, an eye-opener.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to get straight into the first question then. So everyone that I've invited on has been sent 5 questions. Well, not 5 questions. They've been asked to pick 5 songs that mean something to them for whatever reason that might be.
Yeah.
And if we look at your song choice number 1, which was Ce Peniston with Finally, which was, I'm going to say 92. I haven't looked this up yet, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
That's a good get. I reckon it is actually about
1992.
I reckon you might be right.
So I'll check. But yeah, so that was your first choice. So if you just want to sort of dig into why you picked that song and why it's important to you.
Okay, well, first of all, it reminds me of when I was clubbing and also working behind a bar and a cocktail bar and giving everyone way too many strong, because I didn't know better then, and I thought I was a cocktail. I could make cocktails, I really couldn't, and honestly it was probably 2/3 alcohol, and I was terrible at it. But it just reminds me of when I was behind the bar and having fun and dancing with the customers while I'm behind the bar, and going clubbing myself and having lots of fun. And also my boyfriend now, he's brown cocoa skin and curly black hair.
Very relevant.
So it reminds me of him as well, so that makes me laugh. But yeah, it's I didn't even realise that we were at his birthday party, and we haven't been together for very long, and that song came on and everyone was like pointing to him. I was like, it's you, I love this song.
How bizarre though that was a song that mattered so much then.
Yes.
And actually has now got kind of a meaning now as well.
Yeah, I love that song. It's just a happy song.
Yeah, it's a fantastic song, isn't it?
It's a good song.
Those early 90s with I think Alco Pops, because we're a similar age, so.
Yes.
Hooch, remember when Hooch first came out?
Wasn't that lemon?
Just a lemonade Hooch. It was just miraculous, wasn't it, at the time?
It was. Well, when people were drinking that behind the bar, and Mad Dog 50/50, I think
2020, MD 2020,
yeah. when they started drinking on that, we're like, it's not going to end well.
No, because
they were always in a mess at the end of the night.
For the first time ever, you would drink something and it felt like you were drinking pop.
Yes.
Obviously, it's an alco pop. But we had to make do with cider or beer, and it was a bitter taste, and this was just lemonade or MD 2020. I think there was an orange and a strawberry flavour and something else, And it was like drinking pop, and it was lethal, wasn't it? It was absolutely lethal.
Crazy. And I remember one of the New Year's, there was a queue right down the road to get into this club that I was working in, and they charged £1 for these drinks. And you can imagine what everybody was like at the end.
And where was this club? Where were you living and working?
It was this tiny club in Stratford upon Avon. So yeah, it was tiny, but at the time we thought it was the best thing ever. But looking back,
yeah, maybe not so much.
Not so much.
But back then, pretty special.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was really fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so we're going back a few more years then for the second choice, back to the mid-80s, I think, with Madonna.
Who doesn't love Madonna?
I mean, everybody loves Madonna, don't they?
Yeah, well, love her tunes, maybe not her as a person so much.
Yeah, I mean, I've never met the lady, so I can't really speak to her, but certainly her music, yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Love her music, she's amazing, and yeah, just that real, as soon as she comes on, we all just, how do we remember the words of songs years and years and years ago, but can't remember what we did yesterday? That makes no sense to me.
No, it's like somehow it's burned in, you know, if you leave the TV on forever, and the thing gets imprinted on the screen, kind of like that to me. It's like it's imprinted in our brains.
Yes.
And you remember these songs, and the song you chose from Madonna from those times was Like a Prayer. Yeah. And I can even picture the video, because you know, that was quite a thing, wasn't it, in the 80s with the advent of MTV, and a lot more effort went into making music videos because it wasn't quite as important before, but they were a big thing then, weren't they? Because they were just launching MTV and the word and all these things that were happening. Yeah. And I remember it really clearly, and the songs, the lyrics, and is there anything, you know, particularly about that song that makes it so important?
Well, I used to buy smash hits. I don't know if everyone else did, but I love smash hits because it had all the words to the songs in, so you just felt like, I don't know, you were in the industry because you've got lyrics in a magazine. And then if I couldn't afford to get my magazine, then I'd record it on my cassette
from the charts on a Sunday, and you just
press those two
just
buttons
that minute
down.
of like, I've got to wait till the DJ stops talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And wasn't it the first two buttons on the cassette player?
Was it record and pause or something?
Something like that.
Record. You had to take the pause off at the right minute, and then record was. There was a technique.
Yeah, there was.
For it.
And it was a bigger button.
Yeah.
The record one was a bigger button.
Thumb on the record. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was amazing, but it was just just happy times, and then playing it back and writing them down, because I couldn't have, if I didn't know the lyrics, writing them down so then I could have my cheaper equivalent of smash hits.
If you didn't have the magazine, you could find them out yourself, couldn't you? And make sure you could sing along.
Yeah. And did you feel you were posh if you had MTV? We never had MTV in our house.
Yeah,
we had Sky.
We didn't have Sky. I knew a friend that had Sky, but yeah, I mean, MTV was a big deal, wasn't it? It was. I think nowadays it's so common, isn't it, with all the streaming services, but just to watch music videos was quite a big deal. Yeah,
I used to love going to my friend's house and they had it. I used to think they were really posh if they had MTV. I was like, oh, why can't we get MTV?
And then you mentioned Smash Hits magazine. I mean, I remember my sister collecting this, and even my cousin, I think, because it used to have posters in, if I remember rightly, as well.
Yes, it did.
So you would get the lyrics of the songs, and there might be 3 or 4 posters in there. Whoever was, I don't know if the magazine was monthly or weekly, but you know, whoever was flavour of the month, maybe you would get a big poster on there, because everyone's walls in the 80s were covered, weren't they, with all the pop stars.
Who was on your wall?
I wasn't really much. Amazingly, I sort of liked music, but I was more into WWF wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, that was my thing. So I was to follow wrestling all the time. Okay. And my uncle, who had Sky, used to record WrestleMania and SummerSlam and things for me, and I would get on the bus to Bell Green and go and pick up the videotape from the recording on the Saturday night and go home and watch WrestleMania at the weekend, because it was, you know, if you didn't have Sky, you couldn't get it. Not nowadays, but it's everywhere. But yeah, so that was my posters were there. You know, maybe some cars. Porsche 911 was my sort of poster car as a kid.
All that boy stuff.
Yeah, all the boy stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, I think I had was it Morton Harker?
Oh, from Aha, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked him. He was on my wall, and I think Patrick Swayze was on my wall for a bit.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Who else did I have? Oh, Robbie Williams. I love Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
But my mum used to kill me because obviously it was blue tack, and then you'd pull it off, and you'd.
Oh, it'd be ruined, wouldn't it?
Would be
Ruined.
But it was great times, wasn't it?
It was. And the wall needed redoing anyway at that point, didn't it? It was,
just put another poster on it and covered it up anyway.
Doesn't matter then, does it? All covered up. Yeah. Good times.
Oh.
Okay, so the third choice that you've gone for here, not an artist I know particularly well actually, Sia. I think it's the one with the hair across the face.
Yes.
So I know a few of her songs, but you've chosen Unstoppable as your choice.
Yeah, I love that song. Only because my business partner and I were up for an entrepreneurial award, and they asked what music that we wanted to play when we received the award, and we didn't actually get to this point, but we were chuffed to be nominated. And the song that we chose was Unstoppable, because we've gone through so many challenges on like this entrepreneurial journey, and so many stop starts and losing money and time and changing direction, and so we just thought that would be a really nice one, and yeah, Unstoppable, and it's got a really good beat to it.
I do know the song, and I suppose it's a, like you say, it's a sign of the fact that you've, as a business owner, if anyone who's ever tried to start a business or runs a business, it's so hard, isn't it? It's so incredibly difficult, and to overcome all these obstacles and get to the point where you're even just nominated at such a massive. I mean, the Great British Entrepreneur Awards is huge. It's a huge thing. So to get to the point that you're even there is something that you've got to be buzzing about and really proud of. So yeah, that's really cool. Even the fact that you didn't get on the stage doesn't matter, does it? It just doesn't matter. You were there,
exactly,
and you've achieved enough.
Yeah. That
you've been noticed and sort of shortlisted. 5 people out of, imagine how many businesses. We're in the mix. It's massive.
They said there were thousands, so we were a finalist for the startup for the Great British Entrepreneur Awards, and then a finalist as a disruptor for another award this year. So it's just been so nice, because when you're working from your kitchen and it's challenging, and like you say, it's really hard work, and you're having to change direction so many times and always having to think outside the box, and all these things come that you just couldn't ever predict would happen, and you just have to keep finding a way. But I guess that creates growth.
That's what makes a success, isn't it? If some people will hit those barriers and give up for one reason or another, and it's when you've got through all of that and you get to the end, and your service or your product's there and it's being noticed, and it's like, well, actually all those tears and hard work and sleepless nights and working 7 days a week for a year, it's all worth it in the end. Because it's actually, you can see the sort of results of it at the end. So
amazing.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Okay, so the fourth one out of your 5 choices is Girls Aloud with this is a great song. Yeah, something kind of. Is that the name of the song though? Something kind of Ooh.
I think it is, isn't it?
I hope it is. But I know the song you mean. And they're I remember when they burst onto the scene, and I think they came after the Spice Girls, but they were so much cooler, I would say. So what was the meaning behind this song then?
Well, it was my daughter and I. We used to go see them all the time in concert, and absolutely just really nice girly times of her and I. And I remember once actually, we were just being silly and just mum and daughter being childish, blasting music, and we literally got on the dining table and we were like dancing on the dining table, and so it's just really good fun times with her. But actually, even if I didn't have a daughter that was into Girls Aloud, I love Girls Aloud.
Yeah, be on the table anyway, wouldn't you? Just enjoying it,
Exactly, I'd have been on the table, So just that really, and I just love, they seem more normal as well.
Yeah.
Than,
they had I know for girls, the Spice Girls had particular personas and whatever, and they were hugely popular.
Yeah.
But Girls Aloud just seemed a bit more
relatable. Like I don't know.
Yeah. There wasn't very gimmicky.
No, and you can imagine like them being friends next door. You can just imagine that you'd be friends.
They don't live next door to me, unfortunately, but but yeah, they were a lot more relatable and more. And I think better songs, I would say.
Yeah, there's not one song that they released that I thought, I don't really like that. That I can remember anyway.
And where did you say you went to concert a couple of times then? Where's the best concert that you saw them at?
Well, we only went to Birmingham, so we always went to Birmingham just because it was easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally loved seeing them. And
they're very upbeat, aren't they? So you're just on your feet the whole time. Yeah.
And I love the glamour that goes with them, and so I just love that they're like girls next door but glamorous, and it's nice.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
They are cool.
And okay, so we're on to the last choice, which ties in a little bit with the Soultriibe thing we were talking about at the beginning, which is your venture. A guy called Alex Truth DJ, who I think was at your party in Manchester. Is that right? Yeah. So you had an event, not a party. Well, it was a party.
Yeah, it was a party. Yeah. So
you one of the events you hosted for the Soultriibe community up at a venue in Manchester.
Yeah.
And this guy came along and did his own song.
Yeah, amazing. He's a member of the group, and absolutely amazing. And he's launched this song that the first time I heard it, it's like it's a classic. It's like you've heard it like 555 times. It's you just feel like you know it, and so much so that when it got played at the party, when you hear that first couple of beats of a song, you're like, you gotta go to the dance floor.
Yeah, it just draws you straight in.
Yeah, it was just like that song, and I was like, it's this song. So and I think he's launching a few others, but it's all about what's going on in the world and truth and but in a very high vibrational and kind of spiritual way. He's kind of getting his message out there, but in a real fun dancey way. So I absolutely love Alex's song. So I think he's going to be bringing out loads more, so I'm super excited.
Oh, that's fantastic. And what I'll do is I'll drop in the main comment below the video, I'll put a link to all of your groups and communities. I'll link all the songs so that if you want to comment on any of the song choices or listen to them if you've not heard them, they'll be available in there as well. I'll drop Alex Truth's link in as well so people can go and find him.
Brilliant.
Because obviously easy as that. So thanks for coming along and being on the on an episode. It's been good to talk to you.
You too, thank you.
And